at this day it became a wrong choice because it wasn't a safe place, and it was the worst decision ever because it turned out to be the most awkward moment of my entire life. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and I remain Obinna, and in today's video I will be taking you guys through the journey of the most awkward moment of my entire life. Yes, literally the most awkward moment of my entire life. This moment was actually 10 years ago, so this was back then in 2012, and I was still in my grade 4. I was still in grade 4, and I think I was either 8 years old or 9 years old. I can't really recall, but I was in my grade 4. This was 2012, and also I was either 8 years or 9 years old. I can't know, but yeah, either 8 or 9. So we were in the class. I was still in school, and we didn't do anything that day because that we just literally finished our exams. So after exam, you can have like students can have like 1 week free, like days to come to school and just hang out with friends and make noises and just do the silly things that they do. Because I was really different. I love to stay in my confined space, and I wasn't a noisemaker. Everybody knew me as a person who was very disciplined. So I was brought to school that day because my parents were so busy with work and they wouldn't want to leave me at home or take me alongside. So they had to okay, drop him off at school so that they can be focused and I will know that my hands is in a good or safer place, which is the school. But at this day, it became a wrong choice because it wasn't a safer place, and it was the worst decision ever because it turned out to be the most awkward moment of my entire life. Now, what am I saying? That day, I don't know what, the atmosphere wasn't just bright for my school that day. And I don't know if our head teacher actually queried the teachers. I don't just know, but my teacher was terribly so mad that day. Like, I can remember she came into the class, she was just fuming. Who made her angry? I don't know. And such an attitude, if you make any silly noise, oh god, you're gonna get spanked with that their long cane. And I've always feared that cane. Like, trust me, while I was in school, I have always hated that long cane they always hold. So there was a time they had a meeting, and probably in the meeting they were all queried. So that made her more angrier. So in fact, she ran her cock. So when she came to the class, she just gave this one principle: anybody that makes a noise, you're going to get spanked. It was really crazy. And at this moment, I was just like, okay, Obinna, you just better kind of keep to yourself and respect yourself, because if this person, if this person does any little mistake, you're gonna get spanked. And she meant it because she was already very angry. And when a person is angry, you're just looking for one error, so you unleash your anger on that person. And this was what the whole situation was. So when she made the principle that nobody should make any silly noise or do anything that's going to annoy her, or else you're going to get spanked, everybody had their butts on their seats. Very, very quiet. Like, that place was quiet as a graveyard. No one was speaking, nothing. Everyone was just shivering on their seat and like, oh my god. Now everyone's prayer was like, oh god, let's go close. Because at this point, we are all in bondage. Personally, I would have stayed there and just be fine because it's already been my lifestyle to be quiet, and I don't even understand what I'm saying, but to some people who make noises, it was just terrible. At this point, when I was sitting down and sitting peacefully and quietly, the awkward thing just happened. And what was this awkward thing? I wanted to defecate. Like, I wanted to poo. Guys, it would come out, I would hold it. It would forcefully want to come out, I would hold it, I'll be pressing. That moment where you want to go to defecate and probably you're not close to the toilet, it keeps coming, and then you repress it back and you go. I know this might be disgusting, but I understand how the feeling can be. It is painful, it is uncomfortable, it is very worrisome because it's just like, what's gonna happen next? Like, it keeps coming out, I keep pushing it back. Now, it's not this type of ones, like, it can happen once or twice or thrice and it wouldn't happen again. It was reoccurring, like mine was reoccurring that moment. And what was just going through my head was, Obinna, they said you should sit down. How am I going to take an excuse to go poo? Like, I didn't want to be the first person that will be used as example to my other fellow students. So it was, I mean, before that, one has like have taken permission to go urinate, and she rejected the offer. She was like, go sit down back, like you're not going anywhere. And I was just like, oh God, if this guy just wanted to urinate, is it me who wanted to defecate? Like, oh God, she's gonna kill me. And then I was just seated on that seat, repressing the forceful coming out physics that wants to come out from my anus. I was just repressing it back, and the next thing was, sit calm, Obinna. Just make sure that you're repressing. I was holding my butt so tight, repressing it with all my muscles and might, hoping and begging that this thing shouldn't disgrace me. Before I know it, I started farting. You know those fart are very airy and smooth. You wouldn't even hear the noise, but it circulates like bomb. Like that was what I was doing in the class. Because of the principal place, nobody could like take an excuse for the smell. Like it was terrible. I pressed it enough, and trust me, this time enough was enough. And what happened? Oh God, what happened was very disgraceful. You guessed it right, the thing just came out of my anus. I don't know how. The next thing was pro. I was just like, Obinna, did you just pull? Like, wait, did you just pull? Like, check yourself. Do you have physics on your butt? Like, this is the question I was asking myself. And when I realized that, Obinna, you do have a physics in your butt, the next thing was, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I was like, oh my God, okay. I started trying to use my butt to like balance the poop so that it's not gonna circulate all over. So that it's not gonna circulate all over. Or I was just trying to make sure that I keep it to a confined like position so that it's not just gonna circulate and maybe smell, but I was just wrong. It was just the younger me. I lacked the knowledge. I mean, poop is just always gonna smell, and the person sitting on my right was like, and I was like, as well. I don't know if you understand, just to make sure that I'm not suspect of what happened. It was so getting crazy at this point, and I was just like, what's going on? The next thing just happened. I couldn't hold it back. My teacher smelt it, and she perceived the odor, and she was like, what's going on here? So when she discovered that it was actually she thought it was a fart, so she was like, who farts, who did this? Like everybody was like looking around trying to see anyone that's gonna signal his or herself, and nobody was doing so. Immediately, like, she just noticed my action. She noticed I was very quiet. She noticed how peaceful I was sitting down and so innocent, and she just looked at me and she was like, Obinna, like, are you okay? So she stood up and she checked and she realized I pooped. But do you know that she wasn't angry with me? Like, what happened? That was because that session I was the overall second position in my class. Now, this is why it's good to be intelligent. So, because of my intelligence and the fact that I made her proud by being the second overall best in my class, because she was marking the script. I don't know if you understand. We just finished exam, so she was trying to organize a script and report so that they for the end of the session. So probably she have discovered it already that I was the second best overall in my class. That made her to like have a kind of pity for me and mercy. And when she saw that I was the victim here, she was like, oh, you poop, okay, don't worry. Do you know that she helped me up? Oh, she was really kind that day. She helped me up, she took me out, and even when like other people were like talking, she just shut the fuck up. Like, I mean, he's better than you guys. Like, she would want to encourage me and like fight for me, and I was so happy. And the worst part was, for me to pass my class goal, because I was in the first floor. So for me to pass my class, like, I have to, my class was the one in the, like, sorry about the camera, my class was in the, like, the last, like, was the last classroom after the lanes of, like,
What are
after
you
the
even
class of class. I
explaining?
don't even start, like,
What are you even
you would,
explaining?
like, for
Or
you to get to my class, you have to go down past a lot of classes. I mean, 3 or 4 classes before you see mine. So for me to come out, I have to pass through all those 4 classes, and these 4 classes are my younger classes, so they would see that I poo. And not just that, I will go downstairs and other people will still see I poo before they'll take me to the toilet, which she was taking me to. So when I was thinking about that in my head, because of how she encouraged me and how she was fighting with me, I was relieved a little bit. So when I passed the first call, they were like, she poo, you did it. You were like, please, leave him, he's my boy, he did this, he did better. You took the second position, this. I mean, she was just trying to use that as kind of fighting for me, which I was so happy about. And at some point, I was like, oh God, finally intelligence spoke for me. And then she took me downstairs. She pleaded with the cleaner. The cleaner already was in good terms with me. She took me, she helped me bathe me, and then she freshened me. She washed my uniform for me. And the worst part is that they gave me a girl's uniform. So that was so stupid anyways, but they gave me a girl's uniform, which I totally understand because they didn't have any other boys uniform again, and the one they had wasn't my size, if you understand. So I had to wear girl uniform back home. I mean, it was really awkward because when I was waiting for my senior sis to come pick me from school, when she came, she saw me and we were like, what happened to you? And they were like, they were like, he pulled, and like she was like, oh, okay. And then she carried me, and I was like, okay, this is so like, yeah, the most awkward thing. Now, at this point, at this moment, it just happened like it has happened. But what happened was the next day when I woke up about to go back to school again, I was just like, oh God, what will students say about what happened yesterday? Like, I don't know if you understand such a thing. You know, when it happened, you're still gonna be very surprising and okay, this is what happened. But the next, like after some hours or days or weeks, you're just gonna be like, oh my God, what is people's impression of what happened that day? What is their mindset towards it? So this, I mean, it was getting crazy, guys. I wasn't understanding what was going on. So yeah, this is the most awkward thing that ever happened to me, and I know it's not really the most awkward, but trust me, then it could literally kill someone. Like if I was not a very comfortable person, these are things that causes like adults to, you know, to commit suicide, because at this point I felt dejected. I felt, why me? Like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Like, you know, you understand such a point. So yeah, this is the most awkward thing that have ever happened to me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give a thumbs up to this video to hear more about me, to know me more, also to know what I'm doing this quarantine, like my day vlogs and stuff like that, my singing ability, and more games I'll be playing on this channel. So hit the subscription button down below by supporting this channel, please, I really beg. And yeah, don't forget to give a like, and don't forget to share. Comment section down below, you know, just talk whatever you want to talk. I mean, what is your own awkward moment? And yeah, also ask whatever question, leave your video sections below, and until we see in the next video, bye guys. Welcome back to my what am I saying? What's going on here? She first felt it was a fat, so she was like, who fat here? You know, that kind of, who fat here, who fat, who did this, and everyone was like,